Okay. Good morning and welcome to your practice. Welcome to your yoga class on Friday morning. And, well, let's just start as you are and just sitting in your comfortable seat. Just, I was talking about habits, so I'm going to just change the habitual cross of my legs and lengthen yourself tall. Close your eyes, bow your chin. Just take a few moments resting in your stillness. As you sit here, just notice what you can bring in to feel yourself grow a little taller and a little softer. Just taking a few nice, even, slow breaths. And on your next inhalation, joining your hands at your heart somewhere, either palms together or holding your heart. Bow your chin, bow to all that you are and all that you bring. Bow to your space, honoring your practice, honoring your presence. And as we are, in this final pull, the darkest day of the year and to the beginning of the new year, and let's set an intention to your practice. And this is the time of year I always like to choose a word to guide the year. And so here's where I kind of start to feel them in. So just choose a word for your practice. And the first word that comes in your mind is generally the right one. And just sit with that word for a few moments. Even taking it into a sentence, I am. And then into that mantra and into that state of mind, we'll open practice and chant Om together 3 times. Inhale. Bowing your chin. Place your hands on your thighs, lift your chin, and open your eyes. Okay, friends. So we're going to start on hands and knees and go into cat-cow. And so Hart will just sit here and hold the dog while we do yoga. Okay, so set up what you need, something to support your knees. I was talking to my mother, and she tells me she can't go on her knees anymore. So if that's your issue, you use a bolster underneath the shins, let the knees kind of hang. That might work better for you. So you find your place. And then just take a few breaths here just before you go into cat-cow, just being on your hands and your knees. Just feel the press of your hands into the floor, tuck your toes under, and soften your heart a little bit. And notice your head. And it's not dropping, it's not lifting. The back of your neck is long and neutral. Just feeling your breath. 2 more breaths, just like this. And as you begin your next inhale, arch your back up to the sky, take the chin in, take the tail in. And as you exhale, open your mouth, release the belly, lift the chin, look up. And just moving very slowly with the breath or any way you like, but just really feel, the cat and the cow action. The lifting of the chest, the drawing in of the chest. Lifting of your head, your eyes, and the drawing in of the chin and the eyes. Maybe you close your eyes as you bring them in. Your shoulders rolling. And then feel your low back, your hips, and keep your mind on the low back and the hips and how they can open and receive. Okay, and we'll come to rest in the cow pose, so the belly dropping. I'm just going to take my sweatshirt off, but you're going to walk your hands forward, and we're going to take it into supported. I don't know. You're going to take it down to heart opening pose. So you melt the heart forward, and the hips lift. Maybe the chest will come to the floor. Maybe the chin. Maybe none of that. And it's just this really, really deep dropping, lifting. Feel your hands working. One more breath. Okay, and then come up, just rock yourself forward as if you're doing this modified plank. And then take it back into this heart opening pose we were just in. And we'll just rock front to back a few times. Just feel the breath, the tail. Good. And then we'll take it all the way back for child's pose. So you can walk your hands back, you can adjust your legs, tops of the feet to the floor. And just rest in your child's pose, whatever that is for you right now. So hands underneath your head, or if you want to be on your forearms, blanket, wherever you need. And melt yourself in as much as you can. So just let the face soften, the eyes close. And we're just going to stretch the arms forward just as a way of opening up the sides of the waist. So they don't have to be, super strong or anything like that. And you might need a bigger support underneath your head, or your head can just rest. Let's take 2 more breaths. Okay. And then walk your hands back and come up and sit on your heels if that works. Okay, so we're going to take downward dog from here. I'm going to bring in my bolster and my block. And I'm going to use that to rest my head while I'm in downward dog. So that depends how, how high you might need to put that. And it might work for you, it might not. And you can also stack blankets. The nice thing is when we support the head in downward dog, then we soothe the brain, and it's immune busting. So however you need to do that, you come to your hands and your knees. Your chest will kind of be right over where you think your head is going to go. And then you'll press up and back. And you can adjust. Maybe you tuck your head under, kind of find that place. So my arms are still straight, and my legs are straight. So if you're really working so hard to get your head on the props that you're sacrificing your downward dog, then make a choice. Hopefully this works, and you can rest maybe the crown of the head or the hairline. Just take a few breaths here. Let's take one more breath. And then you can just bring yourself back to sitting for a moment, just to feel. You can close your eyes. And just feel that effect. If you had your head resting, you're going to feel that. Okay, so we're going to use this same prop setup now, and I'm going to take it to Sphinx. I'm just going to move this up. And I'll lie down. You know Sphinx. We all know Sphinx, right? Here's Sphinx. I want to be supported on the bolster. I have the block here. It's going to support me. I can take the arms forward a bit. Yes, and the legs can open. And then once you're here, maybe you tuck your toes under if you need to. You'll know if you need to. And just take your chin in a little bit. And then drop the chin, just so you bring it in and drop it slightly down. And then you can close your eyes. And if this is too big of an angle for you, you move the bolster forward. And see if you can kind of melt into where the bolster and your body are touching. Keep pulling the chin in. Drop your jaw. Okay, then we're going to rest. So we have this bolster here. I'm just going to turn my head to one side and just drop in. So we have the same little arch. Blow. Let's stay there. Breathe. Good. So if your back is bothering you, arms can go further in front and the legs can open wider. Melt your chest into the support. Good. And then just turn your head now to face the opposite direction. Okay, and then just bring your head back, come back to that very first little position we did. And you might just stay here on the forearms, pull the chin in, or I'm going to take the elbows are going to stay on the floor, but I lift the forearms. I just kind of turn them out a little bit, and then I'll straighten my arms. So I come up a little higher. Pull the chin in, take it down a little bit, draw the belly in. Breathe. Inner elbows face up if you're in this straight arm position. Okay, take it out of the back by drawing the belly in a little bit more. And then rest into the bolster for, you can even turn your palms up, close your eyes, let your feet just do whatever. And start to send the breath into the back body a little bit more. And we're going to prepare to turn the head. And as you turn your head, you might even bend your knees. If this works, to bend your knees, bring the soles of the feet towards each other, and turn your head and come back into rest, then do that. If it's too much for your back, then don't do it. Okay. And then bring your head back to neutral. I'm going to lift up again, and you might use it. You might go straight arms. You might put your legs down. I'm going to actually reach back. I'm not going to hold my feet. I'm just going to reach. And just lift the chest, reaching back. The legs are as they are. Just reaching, pulling the chin in, taking it down a little bit. So this could be very intense or exactly what you need. Good. And then release. Let your legs go. Turn your head one way and rest again. Notice if your body and the bolster are meeting at a more relaxed or heavier place. Good. And last time, just turning your head the opposite way. And then bringing the head back, and I'm going to press up and back to hands and knees. You can tuck your little toes under, push yourself up. And then here, I'm going to take downward dog again. I'm going to use the bolster. If you want it to be a child's pose, you just walk closer, take your child's pose. Otherwise, we're going to downward facing dog. With the head supported, if that works, you might have to adjust your bolster, your block. Good. And just take a few moments, breathing, feeling. If you don't have your head supported, that is okay. Good. Okay, downward dog, people. We're going to do another 3 breaths. Soften your jaw, melt in. Good. Okay, and then we'll all come into child's pose. So I'm going to use the bolster and bring it in. I know I'm going to want to put a blanket on top because I want more pressure into my tummy. So I'll take a blanket, just put it at the end. And just bring yourself in to lie down on your bolster. Again, we'll turn the head. Hopefully you feel supported in your chest area, maybe the belly. And if that's not happening, then use some blankets or whatever you need to kind of create this nice support. And then let yourself melt. Be aware of where your breath is being invited to. And just play with that. Okay, so I'm going to stay in this nice relaxed child's pose. Just going to extend the arms a little bit forward and just to open up the sides of the waist a little bit, sides of the ribs. And then lift your head and turn it to face the opposite direction. Take a nice full breath in. Release. And we're going to come up and I'm going to stretch the legs out. There's always one side you want to go to stretch your legs out. So notice, which side you want to go to. Go to the opposite side and just extend your legs either side of your bolster. Move them around a little bit. Good. I'm going to do this little leg, hip side to side just to kind of stretch that out. And good. Okay. Then once you're here, if you need to sit on something, you're going to put that in. Take your hands down. We're going to bend the knees, flex the feet, and you can arch your back a little bit. I'm really going to press the heels into the floor, opening my chest. So take the shoulders back. Take your chin in and drop it down slightly. Soften your jaw. So your hands are firm to the floor, heels firm to the floor, knees are lifted, jaw is soft. Take one more breath. Okay, now extend your legs out And if you need to put something underneath your knees, do that. And we have this nice little bolster shape here. You're going to adjust it, move your props as you need. Maybe it has to come in more. Maybe it has to be higher. So we might even use the block because we're going to come in for a little forward fold. So here, I just put the block on the highest height. I have a blanket here. I'm going to bring myself in and rest here. And I know that's not accessible for everybody. So, you know, if that's just hands on the floor and dropping your head, then that is excellent work too. So if you can rest the forehead, then the body relaxes. So you might use your hands too to help. Okay. And then once you're in it, you know, if you're very comfortable here, you might turn your head to one side, whatever it is. Just create this forward folding Upavishta Konasana is the name of this pose. And hopefully you're feeling like a little bit of stretch happening in the legs, in the back, even wherever else you're feeling it is good. You can let your feet soften. And again, just feeling the breath, receiving and feeling into those places that are getting a little stretch. And then just turning your head now the opposite way and resting it again. So we move into our final few moments here. So see if you can even deepen your breath. Just extend the breath out. Okay. And bringing yourself up to sitting. And as you come up, we're just going to take that same sit. So you take your hands behind, open your chest, bend your knees, and there's a little arch in your back, anchor the heels, breathe. Draw your belly in, smile. Good. Okay, and then we'll release this. You might shake your wrists. We'll take the props out of the way. Let's keep your blocks. And if you have 2 blocks, you know, just set them so they're handy. Okay, so from here, I'm going to come into, we'll take a little downward dog. And just to stretch the legs. So just lift one leg up in the air. If it happens to hit a wall, use the wall. Just stretch. Look at your leg on the floor. The one that's touching the floor, press the thigh back. And then switch. Good. Nice. Okay, come back down to your hands and your knees. Good. Okay, so I'm going to tuck my little toes under. Take the heels back towards the hips. So your hands are still on the floor. Just going to push your hands down, lift your chest, pull the chin in a little bit, and take the chin down even like half an inch. Good. Take one more breath. Actually, maybe 2 more. I feel all my nasal passages clearing. Good. Okay, so we're going to move into rabbit pose. So walk your hands back, and the hands are going to be placed so that you make like almost a triangle. So the hands come down, and then your head's going to go just at the top of the triangle. So this is what it looks like. I take the forehead down, and then I'll lift the seat up and roll onto the crown of the head. and then I'll come back and press up. So we'll just do that a few times. So you just feel your hands, take your forehead down, then lift your hips in the air, roll onto the top of your head. Maybe you even push the hips forward and come maybe into the back of the head, and then roll back, and you're just gonna lift yourself up. And we'll just do that 2 more times. So go slow. And we're just rolling the head, opening the back of the neck. And we'll press up. And then we'll come down. And this time, as you roll onto the top of your head, you might stay there and take your arms up in the air. And they can just, fingers can reach to the sky, or you can interlace your hands and reach up, open the shoulders a little more, stay on the top of your head. Breathe here. And then release your hands down. Put the tops of the feet on the floor and come up to sit in Vajrasana. So if this is no good, you sit however you like. And then just be here. Feel that effects into the top of the head. Okay, my nasal passages just went clear, so that is good. Feel that. Good. Okay. And then I'm just going to grab another block. All right, so from here, I'm going to come up and into a bent knee lunge. So I have my blocks at the front. I'm going to just step my right foot forward. Left knee is going to stay on the floor. If you need to put something there, put it there. Some of you are going to walk your left knee back. And we're just going to be in this lifted bent knee lunge. Feel free to rock a little bit if you need to do that. Just open up your legs a little bit. And then eventually you're just going to come into rest here for a few breaths. So I say rest. I'm pushing the hands down, lifting the chest, pull the belly back, chin in, and 2 blocks or no blocks is fine. But with the blocks, you get this higher lift. Okay, tuck the back toes under, lift up to full lunge. Take a few breaths here. I'm still on the blocks. Let the jaw go. Then we're going to change legs. So you can step forward or step back, whichever one works. And we'll set that opposite knee, the right knee down now. Okay, and then adjust your stance, rock a little bit. Just kind of find a little freedom or your space or your place. Good. And then just rest into this bent knee lunge. Feel that even the front foot is anchored down a little bit. Hands are anchored, chest is lifting, belly comes back, chin comes back. Smile, and then lift the back knee up into the lunge. Good. Okay, now we're going to step both feet forward into forward fold. They don't have to go right at the front, they can go at the back. I'm going to use the blocks. So my hands are on the blocks on the highest height. Drop yourself down into the forward fold. So let your head go. And if you need to bend your knees, do that. And just letting the head hang, jaw soft. Notice the weight in your feet. And see if you can find the place where you feel very balanced over your feet. So it's not too far forward into the toes. Maybe back a little bit, more weight into the heels. And we're going to come to half forward fold. So here's where we're going to use the blocks. So you anchor your hands, lift your head and your chest. And again, the legs maybe go straight or they stay bent. Now lift your head, lift your eyes. Look up as high as you can. Drop your jaw. See if you can even pull the chin in a little bit here. Keep looking up as high as you can. Breathe. Okay, and then we're going to come all the way up. So however you want to do that, open your arms, reach up to the sky. Bring your hands down to your heart, and then all the way down. Just rest your arms by your side. Soften your gaze. We'll just take a few breaths here. Okay, from here we're going to come to a wide-legged stance. So however you need to turn, so you can see and bring your blocks with you. We're going to do that same kind of stuff. So I'll just heel toe my feet a little wider, turn your heels out, toes in a little bit. And then, just maybe you need to move a little bit side to side, move your legs a little bit. Good. Okay. And then you're going to find your drop. We're going to drop down. So you might stay on your blocks. You might use your forearms, rest your head, or you might put your hands right on the floor. Whatever your forward fold is here is good work. Okay. Once you're in it, you want to widen the inner thighs to the outer thighs. Really anchor into the outer edges of the feet a little bit more. And then release from like the hips all the way down, maybe to the crown of your head. If you're nice and open here, you can full tuck your head. And if you're on your blocks, that's beautiful and good too. You can just let the head go, breathe. Take one more breath. And then we're going to come to that halfway. So I'm going to put my hands on the blocks. The blocks are underneath my shoulders, so wrists over shoulders. And then you lift your chest, lift your head, look up, lift the eyes, look up as high as you can. There's you can feel, is this cat, is this cow? Really anchor the feet, lift the knees up, press from the inner thighs to the outer thighs. Take your belly in. Keep looking up, soften your jaw. Good. And release once more into the forward fold. So hands on the blocks or out of the way and drop in. Okay. And come back up. And so that might be hands on the floor, hands on your blocks. You might even change the height of the blocks. And then just get nice and strong in your hands. We're going to take, let's say we take the left foot and you're just going to step it to the right. Boom. Just boom. Good. And then open back up. And now step your right foot to the left. Boom. So however you need your blocks, let's do that one more time each side. And maybe you slow it down. How slow can you go? And maybe it's not that slow. And maybe it is. I'm just going to step the right foot to the left last time. Good. And then don't go back to wide-legged. Just move your blocks, come back to face your mat, and we're going to come back down to child's pose or downward dog. Whichever one. Hart and I are both going to go downward dog, but child's pose is great too. Let your head go, jaw go. Good. Okay, come down onto your knees or come up onto your knees. I'm going to tuck the toes under and just sit for a moment. Just feel, feel that work. And if you were sneezy before, maybe you're not anymore. Okay, so now we're going to get into the immune busting, opening the chest. I'm going to use my blocks. And you're welcome to use something softer though. If you want to use, we're going to lie over the blocks. You could put your bolster down and a block for your head and do that instead. Okay, then we're going to come to sit. Now, you might sit on your tush with the feet out and come in this way. I'm going to take Virasana just because I like it. And so you kind of smooth out. So here's Virasana, and you could even be sitting on a block if you want to take Virasana. And then you'll just have, maybe you'll need 3 blocks. Okay, then I'll take that block that I'm going to rest my chest on. And I use the thumbs to kind of help. And I do have the block on the highest height, not to intimidate. It's just, that's where it goes for me. Really have to lift, come down. So you could be on the lowest height. You could have your bolster there, just to get a lift into the chest. And then a support for the head. Might be like the same height or a higher height. And if your legs are, it could be straight out, knees bent. Maybe you're in Virasana too, as well. It's all fine. Okay, so just feel like this lift of the chest. If it feels uncomfortable, sometimes you just lift your chest and put it back. That's the one behind the head, always the hardest to place. And that might help to bring in a little bit more comfort. And I'll just say all of these things that I know you know, but if you come in and you're like, oh, that was too high, I shouldn't have gone so high, then come out and readjust it. And if you've gone in and you're like, oh, I could have gone higher, then just take or change the block under your head, and that will give you more of an angle. So whatever you're doing is feeling your chest, your heart space is lifted. And we can just melt in here. Just feeling your breath. See if you can even like soften your breath, if that helps to kind of guide you to be more relaxed here. Soften your eyes. And perhaps by this time, any discomfort you had at the beginning has kind of soothed itself. And just a few more moments here. Let that be the invitation to drop in more heavily. Okay. And then preparing to come out. So you might take your hands and kind of lift your head, chin to your chest first, and then take your hands down and press yourself up, or you might roll to one side and then come up. And however you choose to do that is great. If you're in Virasana, you'll just kind of sneak your legs out. Okay, I'm just going to move the blocks out of the way and just keep them handy though. Bring yourself back onto your back. And as we come down now, I feel, I'm going to put on my sweater and all that good stuff. So, and then just as quick as you can, lie down so you can feel the effects of that chest opening. You can have something underneath your head if you feel you need that. Good. And just take a few moments. Okay, so we had the chest lifted, hips on the ground. Now we reverse it. So you take your blocks or your bolster, and we'll just lift the hips, put a support underneath your sacrum, and that can be any height you like. So I'm on the lowest height here, but I'm going to go highest height. So I kind of walk the feet in, lift the heels up as high as I can, sneak that little support in. But again, it doesn't matter. Whatever height you're on, you're alternating and changing the flow of your breath, flow of fluid, all that stuff. Soften your face if you can, and allow the heart space to really be heavy into the earth. Even if it's lifted, you feel like it's not really on the floor, can you release your upper back, the sides of your ribs, even the mid back or any part that's kind of hanging. Good. Just feel like even though you have this lift and you're supported, how much can you melt in? So we really are bringing our awareness to the back body. Feel your shoulders, the right shoulder blade, left shoulder blade, even. You know, if you know your habit, like I was talking the other day about tilting the head to one side, so I know that's my habit. So as I lie here, I turn my head a little bit to the left, and make such a little thing makes such a difference in how the body is evenly weighted. I can feel that things get a little bit happier. Good. Okay, final few breaths here. And then we'll release. You lift your hips. If you need to walk your feet in to make that happen. And then take that block out and just come to rest on your back. However you want your legs here, my friends. Stretched out, bent, knees together, knees apart. It's all fine. Just feel this heaviness in the back body. Good. Okay. So from here, we're going to come to twist. We're going to do a little variation on twist. So, well, let's say I'm going to tell you we're going to come over to the right side first. So if you want to put your bolster or blanket there on the right side just to support and catch it. Okay, so I'm going to take you into the deepest part of the twist first, and you're going to come out and you're going to make it so nice for yourself. So as we are here, just walk, so bend your knees, walk your feet together, and we'll cross the right knee over the left knee. I'm going right knee over knee. If that's no good, you know, go ankle over knee. Good. Now feel the left foot on the floor, anchor it down, lift your hips up, shift the hips over to the left and put them down. Then the arms open and we take these knees over to the right. Okay, and so I'm still into this cross and knee over knee. I might even wrap those right toes underneath the left shin. If that works, and if you're like, what? Then you just come into twist here. Whatever works, turn your head to the left. Okay. And then stay with that. But if you're really working to hold it, like I'm working really hard to hold that shape. So I'm going to let it go and just let everything kind of soften into whatever form it takes. You might bring your knees up a little higher if that works for you. You can also have knee over knee. You know, it could be nice and easy. Okay, one more breath. Good. Okay, and then we're going to come out. You can just bring your feet to the floor, readjust your hips. Keep the bolster to the right side. Squeeze. Thank you. Okay, extend your right leg long on the floor. Bring your left knee into your chest and interlace your fingers there. We're going to bring this left knee over to the right side so it'll rest on your bolster. So the right hand holds this left knee, left arm out to the side, and now take this left leg all the way over into what we call Alexander twist. So the right leg is straight, the left knee is supported, left shin, left ankle supported. If that's, doesn't work, throw a block underneath your bolster, make it work so that you feel you're supported here. So take a few moments, my friends. Put in your blankets, put in your blocks, whatever you need. If something's not comfortable, make it comfortable. And then once you get into it, the arms are out to the side, palms up, and you might even just take your wings up a little bit higher. They don't have to go over your head, just maybe a little bit over so they're above the shoulders. And then rest into your breath. Just feel your breath. Maybe you feel it first down in the belly, and you can imagine it radiating up into the chest, into your open arms, into your upper back. Okay. Take 2 or 3 more breaths and notice any place you're still holding. You soften maybe through the hips a little more, through the jaw, the back of your heart. And then you'll slowly unwind yourself and come back onto your back. And just rest with the knees bent or the legs stretched out, whatever works. And feel the changes that have happened. Good. Okay. And then taking your props and just bringing them over to the opposite side. Everything you used. Okay, so we're going to start in the crossing of the legs. So find your position. If you need a blanket under your head, please put it there. Okay, bring your knees are bent. Walk your feet to touch. Cross the left knee right over the right knee. Pause. Feel that. And then anchor the right foot. Lift the hips. Shift the hips to the right and put them down. And then drop this package over to the left. And you can make it deeper if you want to wrap. The right shin comes over top of the left foot. Or you just completely let all of that go and just come to knee over knee. It's all lovely and fine. We're only here for a few more breaths. Okay, if you're working really hard, relax what you can. And one more breath, smile. Okay, and then bring yourself back onto your back. Pause. Okay, now we extend the left leg. Bring the right knee in. Okay, get your props ready to receive. And then the left hand holds right knee, right arm comes out. And we take this right knee all the way over to rest onto your support. Use your blankets, your blocks, make it higher so that you feel very supported. So that you feel your knee, your whole shin, and the ankle are resting on the bolster. And you can turn your head to the right. Okay, and then drop in, make everything comfortable. Whatever that means. Okay, the arms can stay out to the side or they can come up a little bit higher just to invite the breath up. Soften what you can. If there's a little bit of discomfort, maybe that's going to just work itself out. But if it's a lot of discomfort, then you need to readjust it. Prop it up. We've all been in those places. I know we have all, every single one of us, where we get into a pose, you're like, oh, this is terrible, so uncomfortable, but I'm just going to suck it up until it's done. But that's all you think about, right? So if you can take the time in something like this to just make it nice. So you can really rest in. And notice for me, my head wants to really come closer to my right arm. So I'm just going to pull it back a little bit. Just feeling your breath. And then feeling as it fills from the bottom, radiates up like the sun. You're filling your lungs, the front, the back, the sides. Soften your jaw, your eyes. And then just taking 2 or 3 more breaths here. Melting what you can. Notice any place you're still holding. Good. And then making your way back onto your back and resting in your stillness here. However you want your legs to be, stretched out straight or bent. Just receiving. Nice grounded feeling. Maybe even reminding yourself of your mantra, your intention. Feeling if that word you chose still fits. Okay. So from here, friends, we're going to come up to sitting just to adjust to the next pose. So you might roll to the side and come up. I'm going to rock and roll a little bit just because it's a nice opportunity to massage the back. And how often do you do this unless you're a young kid or in gymnastics class or yoga class? Okay, good. So from here, I'm going to set up for a supported boat pose. So I'm going to have the legs at the wall and the back supported with the bolster. Okay, so you might put a blanket down for your hips. So you're not going to be super close to the wall. So when I come in, I want to be at an angle. So I want to feel my legs are at an angle and my chest is at an angle. So this is a good spot for me. If you don't have a wall, then you can do this with your props. You could even use your couch or a chair. Okay, and then I'll just set my bolster in this shape that we've done very often. So you'll use your 2 blocks. 2 blocks are better than 1. That was for Hart. He's like, I don't want to get up and get a block. But he's going to. Okay, so I set it up so it's like this, and the bolster, end of the bolster might be just hanging from the floor. That's fine. Then I have another blanket I'm going to use to wrap my legs up. I've been using my heating pad in class. I keep my house pretty cold, so I really like that. It's just fun. Okay, then as I come in, I just tilt it down. I'm going to come in, and I hit the blocks perfectly. I have 1 for the head, 1 for the heart. And then if I put my legs up here, I get this, you can see, a little boat pose. Okay, now we're going to wrap the legs up. Your bolster might fall a few times as you do this, and that's fine. Just, what do we do when things fall down? Set them up again. Okay, now I'm going to wrap my legs up with my blanket. You could use your strap too. I just wrap it around and then just shove the ends of the blanket in between my legs. So hold it there. You might want another blanket to cover yourself, an eye pillow. I just kind of use my hands to just angle that block so it's right underneath my head. The chest is supported. The arms are going to come down, and if that's too big of a drop for your arms, then just prop them up. You can grab another, hopefully you have like tons of blankets and pillows, and you'll just create like a little support so the arms are not dropping down as much. So I'll just show that here, but I'm going to release that. Okay. So hopefully you're comfortable. If you need to bend your knees and just set your feet at the wall, if that's better for you. There, see, it's working already. Then we take these poses where we're inviting everything to kind of ground into your base, which is not your legs. And then just feel this great offering. This pose is an offering. Okay, if you need more support for under your head, throw another blanket underneath your head so that you don't feel the chin is lifting. We want the chin in, forehead higher than the chin. Okay, so I'm trusting that you have created for yourself a nice space. And we're going to rest here for a few more moments, and then you're welcome to move into a different form of Shavasana. But if this is starting to feel very nice, you've set yourself up nice and you feel comfortable, then you're welcome to stay. So just dropping into your breath, into your stillness. Just feel another blanket underneath my head, and I'm looking at Hart. He needs another blanket underneath his head. Oh, you gotta go. Goodbye. Love you. Your feet can do whatever they need to do. They feel like they're rolling in or out, it's fine. Let it be. Dropping your inner gaze down and in. Nice, easy breath. Okay, so if you're happy here, your body's adjusted, then stay for, this could be your Shavasana, or stay for a few more moments and then adjust if you need to. And if you'd like to come into just lying down Shavasana or legs up the wall or whatever variation you want to rest into for our final time together, go ahead and make those adjustments. I'm going to stay like this. Do whatever invites in grounding, releasing, and use the word healing. You could even just take your feet off the wall if you wish. Go into Baddha Konasana or knees bent, basic resting pose. Just want to make that little adjustment. And do that. And however you choose to be, just be here. And bring in your mantra again if you wish. Just repeating it a few times. And then dropping into your stillness. Just settling in a little more deeply. And choosing to stay as you are for longer. We're starting to make little movements as you lovingly take yourself out from this rest. You might stretch your arms over your head and stretch your legs in some way. And if you're still on this height of bolster, as you roll to your side, just be conscious that you're on a height. Take yourself down carefully. And coming up to seated, if that's where you're going or staying, it's all fine and lovely. Nice. And once you come upright, maybe bring your hands to your heart and just pause in your stillness, just honoring all the work you've done, honoring your good health. And let's send these good healing, good health vibes out to your loved ones or even those we don't know. And inhale, lengthen tall, lift your chin. Exhale as you are. And you can join with me in our May We Be Blessed mantra. Inhale. May we be blessed with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be healthy and may we be happy. We'll seal that with one Om. Inhale. And bowing your chin. Om Shanti, Om Peace, Om Namaste. Take a full breath in. Breathe into your hands. Catch your breath. Lift your chin, open your eyes. Offer this to yourself. And offer it out. Yes. Great. Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you for sharing this time with me. And I hope that was healing and helpful. Have a great Friday. Thank you. Yeah, I see you. I see you. Thank you. I love you. Have a great rest of your day.